Greetings and welcome to Kizono's Crypto Talk. My name is Markizono Draconis, but that is a pen name for another story. I talk about all things technology, specifically those related to the theory behind cryptocurrency. I have an extensive background in web development, systems administration, which gave birth to CloudOps and DevOps, and now I'm bringing that expertise to the blockchain technology. If that tickles your pickle, then hit that subscribe button because your likes, views, and shares go a long way to me being able to produce higher quality content, i.e. better microphone and camera. I also want to inform you that none of this is financial advice, since I am an information technology edutainment channel. I'm here to help you understand the concepts, the theories, the strategies behind what's going on, for you to make an informed decision, and for you to also help empower you to do your own research. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to talk about the differences between hashing and encryption. This should be a relatively short video since the explanations can be made relatively simple. When it comes to hashing, the algorithm is one way. There's no way of getting that data back once it goes through the algorithm. Instead, what you're going to get back is a fixed length response. Some examples of some hashing algorithms include MD5, which contains 32 characters, SHA-1, which contains 40 characters, and SHA-256, which contains 256 characters. Sometimes these results can clash. Clashing happens whenever you have multiples of the same inputs that go into the algorithm and produce the same output. So for an oversimplified example, say I take 4 of the letter A and I put that into the MD5 algorithm. I get back a hash. And then I take 6 of the letter C and I put that into the algorithm, and I get the same hash. This is what happens whenever you have a clash in the hashing algorithm that you're using. For the security of your application, whatever it might be, you want to select an algorithm that has the least chances of there being a clash. So for that reason, MD5 is out. Most people use SHA-1, and we're starting to get into more advanced algorithms like SHA-256 and SHA-314. You'll want to choose an algorithm that has the least chances of clashing to reduce the chances of someone being able to reverse hash the data within that application.
But Kizano, you just told me that you can't get the data back once you hash it.
This is true. Once you hash information, it's gone forever, unless you don't delete the original data. Really, this is based off of a coined term that is based on this concept of something like a password brute force attack, wherein I take the letter A, I hash that, I take the letter B and I hash that, I take the letter C and I get a hash of that. Rinse and repeat until I get through the entire Unicode alphabet. And then I do it again for AA, AB, AC, repeat and rinse and repeat until I get to ZZZZZZ. This is what is known as creating a rainbow table. A rainbow table is a text file that contains a list of the hashes and the values that created those hashes. So when I want to reverse hash on something, really I'm just doing a lookup and saying, hey, I've got this hash, do you happen to know what data created it? And I'm going to look it up on that table. So reverse hashing isn't really reversing the hash as much as it is a reverse lookup on a table of that information.
But Kizano, when do I ever want to hash my data if I'm never going to get it back?
Now, there are real-world use cases for when you want to use hashes. For example, passwords. As a developer, you should never store your passwords in plain text, ever. You should always hash it with a salt, and when somebody wants to log in, you take that information and you hash it again. And if the two hashes match, grant access. If they don't, reject the login. And shame on you if you limit the number of characters I can put in my password or whatever I want to put in my password. I'm sorry, but it is my personal suspicion that anytime somebody says that you can't use specific letters and characters in your passwords, that typically means they're storing your passwords in plain text. And if you use those characters, then it means they're subjected to an SQL injection. SQL injections are for another story for another time, but basically you can hack the password box. I personally don't like this, and I have my own personal suspicions about that, but you know, I'm just a guy on YouTube. So let's talk about encryption. Encryption is the act of taking information and altering that information such that it is unrecognizable to someone who doesn't know what's going on. An oversimplified example of this would be to just swap the letters in the alphabet. Z is now A, B is now Y, and so on. The result would be something that is unrecognizable to someone who doesn't know what happened to the information that went into this algorithm. Encryption is reversible. Some encryption algorithms can be used with just a password. They're really simple. Other encryption algorithms are a little more complex and require a password and a key in order to encrypt the information. Some algorithms are even more advanced and require a password, a key, and also an IV, or an initialization vector. Encryption keys are not limited to use with just encryption. They can also be used with authentication and authorization as well. In a previous video, we covered the concept of PKI, or public key infrastructure. This is when the private key can be used to sign the encryption to verify the property of key ownership. To verify identity, you can use the private key to sign the encryption to not only ensure that the person you're sending the data to is the only one who can read that data because they have the private key to decrypt that information, but also to validate identity by ensuring the person you think you're speaking is actually that person. An initialization vector, or IV, is basically a seed number that kicks off the encryption algorithm. You can think of the IV as the spark plug that starts the encryption engine. So that's hashing versus encryption in a nutshell. Hashing is one way and cannot be reversed, albeit there's nothing stopping you from amassing a database of usernames versus passwords. Encryption is reversible, but you need to know the rules of engagement before you embark upon this journey. My name is Marquezano Draconis, and I am here to teach you cryptocurrency theory. These concepts are going to be absolutely critical in future videos, so do stay tuned. If you found anything in this video to be helpful, then smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you want to learn more about cryptocurrency content and join the Keyzonian community, then destroy the subscribe button as well. Leave a comment below, let me know what you think, and I look forward to seeing all of you beautiful people on the next video.